miss anyone? Nine? Okay, good. Okay, before we go with the homework, let's talk about the bell work. Am Morgen ich dusche. So is this sentence correct the way it is right now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm hearing mixed answers. Okay, who thinks it's correct? Okay, who thinks it's not? Okay, can you explain why?
Because ish is supposed to go at the end.
Okay, am Morgen dusche ich. Genau, because remember yesterday I told you in German, when your sentence starts with anything but the subject, you invert the subject and the verb. Or another way of looking at it is that the verb is always in the second position. So is the verb in the second position in this case?
No.
No. So you have to switch these two around. Okay? So it's am Morgen dusche ich. Okay? Alright, so for the homework you were supposed to rewrite these sentences using the same structure. And you were supposed to start with the time phrase. So I underlined those here for you to make it a little easier. So who'd like to start us off with number 2? Yeah. Okay. Am Vormittag hat Unterricht. Is that correct? Yeah? Remember what did I tell you? If your sentence starts with a time phrase, anything but the subject, you invert the verb and the subject, right? Okay. And look at it. Is the verb in the second position in the sentence? Fine. Okay. How would you correct it? Ja, am Vormittag hat er. Okay? Okay, so your verb is in the second position. Okay, next one. Number 3. Who'd like to do number 3? Yeah, Lem. Okay, am Mittag kocht er Spaghetti. And what does that translate to, Levi?
In the morning, it's okay.
Genau. What about sentence number 2? Am Vormittag hat er Unterricht. And please raise your hand. What does that sentence translate to? Anyone? Yeah, Lisa?
In afternoon, he likes to, and I forgot what he liked.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Okay, Vormittag. Was ist Vormittag? What is Vormittag? Late morning. Okay, but it's still morning. Okay, und der Unterricht. Ja, ihr habt jetzt Deutschunterricht. Was ist der Unterricht? Yeah, instruction or lessons, okay? So in the morning he has instruction. Basically he has school. Okay, good. All right, what about number 4? Katharina? Yeah. Okay, Timo macht am Nachmittag Hausaufgaben. Just like most of you, I hope, right? Macht ihr am Nachmittag Hausaufgaben? Ja? Nein? Oder am Abend? Okay, gut, danke, ausgezeichnet. Am Nachmittag, you're starting with your time phrase there, followed by your verb macht Timo Hausaufgaben. Okay? And the next one, Nummer 5. Isaac? Geht um 22 Uhr schlafen. Note that 22 Uhr is in military time, so what would that convert to in conversational time? 10 o'clock. Once again, please make sure you correct your homework with a different colored pen, and also make sure that each sentence starts with the time phrase that I underlined up there on the board. Yeah?
I wrote on my board.
Yeah, sure. There. Okay, danke schön, Isa. Okay, um 22 Uhr geht schlafen. Sehr gut. So at 10 o'clock he goes to sleep. Okay, sehr gut. Do you have any questions about this homework? Okay, we're going to do a little more surrounding sentence structure German in just a second. Okay, right now, before we move on to the next thing, I'd like you guys to ask your partner, was macht Timo questions. What does that mean, was macht Timo?
What does Timo do?
Yeah, what does Timo do? And then just take turns answering these questions, okay? So I'll give you a minute to do that. Go ahead.
Er hat Encourage and Woman Er mag also Fragen was mag Timo? Oh no.
Okay, 1, 2. Did everybody finish? Okay, then let's move on to the next thing. Let me put on the sphere. Can I go ahead and erase this? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so today we are going to look at a different, we're going to examine a different way to look at this unique sentence structure in German. So I'm about to give these handouts to you, as well as this sheet. Okay? Okay, word order in German sentences. I'd like to do a popcorn reading for this one. Who'd like to start us off? Yeah, Alex.
Forming German sentences, the conjugated verb is always the second element of the sentence.
Okay, so note that here they talk about the verb being the second element in the sentence. So we'll find out in just a second what that means. Okay, who do you pick next?
Josh.
Okay. The subject is either the first or the third element, and it's always tied with, always tied to the verb.
Okay, that's very important. The subject is either the first or the third element and is always tied to the verb. By the way, are you all familiar with your parts of speech? Do you all know what a subject is, a verb, an adverb?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good. Okay, next. Who's next? Josh.
Garrett.
What is an element? An element is a part of speech. This includes things like verbs, nouns, pronouns, subjects, direct objects, indirect objects, adverbs, adjectives, and prepositional phrases and time phrases.
Okay, good. So an element could be a lot of those things, right? Be any of those things. Good. All right, let's look at the following sentence as an example. Okay, ich gehe 4 Uhr zu Café Julia. Would like to translate that. Yeah, Jakob?
I go at 4 o'clock to Cafe Julia.
Yeah, genau. Okay, so what does the sentence start with?
I go.
Okay, so ich represents what?
I.
That's the subject. Okay, you have your verb, followed by a time phrase, and followed by a prepositional phrase. Okay, now let's look at the two different ways that we can rewrite the sentence. Let's say you start with your time phrase. Okay, 4 Uhr gehe ich zu Café Julia. Now, where is the verb positioned in this sentence? And keep in mind, according to the reading, the verb is always supposed to be the second element. Looking at this, do you think it's the second element? Yes, it is in the it's the second element, or it's in the second position, okay? And followed by your subject. Okay, yet another way to write this sentence. You could start with your prepositional phrase, depending on what you want to emphasize. Okay, zu Café Julia gehe ich 4 Uhr. Okay, is the verb still the second element? Even though you switched the prepositional and the time phrase? Yes, it's still in the second position. This is still the second element, followed by its subject. Okay? So who can tell me why the verb and the subjects are color-coded in red? Okay, based on your short reading here. Yeah, Katarina.
It's the conjugated verb.
Okay, but why are those two together? Why are they together here?
Like A and B,
Okay?
because they're like E goes with that conjugation.
Exactly. It's to reinforce the point that the subject and the verb are always tied to each other, okay? I don't know if I told you that yesterday, but what did I say? They go together like peanut butter and jelly, or another way to think of it is they're joined at the hip. They're twins, okay? They always go together. Okay, but always remember that your verb is going to be in the second position, or it's going to be the second element in the phrase. If your sentence starts with anything other than the subject. Okay, so make sure you always have these in your notebooks to refer to, okay? Do you have any questions about this before we practice? Okay, now go ahead and turn to your other sheet that I gave you, please. Okay, so this activity is very similar to what you had to do for your homework today. You're supposed to rewrite the sentence starting with the phrase that's in italics. Okay, so number one, obviously that was my bell word for today, okay? So ich dusche am Morgen, I take a shower in the morning, but if you start with your time phrase, am Morgen, then you have to switch ich and dusche. Okay, and your verb, as you see, is in the second position. So right now I'm going to give you about 3 minutes or so to rewrite all of these sentences, starting with the word that's in italics. Alles klar? Okay, good. And then we'll go over them. Eins, zwei. Okay, let's go over these. Who'd like to write up on the board what they have for number 2? Okay, what should the sentence look like when you rewrite it, starting with the time phrase? Okay, actually, there are a couple of words there that you may not be familiar with. Dann and danach. These are words of sequence to describe a sequence of actions. What do you think dann could be mean? Kind of sounds like then, genau, then, danach. after. Okay, gut. Alright, Nummer 2. Wer macht Nummer 2? Libby? Okay, wir haben am Vormittag Deutschunterricht. Ich starte am Vormittag. Okay, good. What do you guys think? Good? Okay? And Levi, can you please explain to us why that's the way the sentence should look?
Well, I guess,
Okay, is your verb in the second position? Is it
Oh,
the second
yeah.
element in
Yeah.
the sentence? Yes. Okay, your first element, here, let me underline that for you, to help you see. That's am Vormittag. Okay, that's your first element. And in the second position, you have your verb. Okay, am Vormittag haben wir. Okay, next sentence. Yeah. Oh, you can go ahead. Okay, what do we have here? Geht am Nachmittag nach Hause. What does that translate to? Nach Hause gehen. That's one of your vocabulary words. To go home. Okay. So he goes home in the afternoon. Okay, danke schön, Katharina. Am Nachmittag geht nach Hause. That's what it should read when you rewrite the sentence. Okay, am Nachmittag, your time phrase is in the first position, followed by your verb, which is in the second position, or it's the second element in the sentence. Okay, und Nummer 4. Did anybody figure out what hört Musik could mean? The verb hören, that kind of sounds like which English word?
Here.
To hear. Okay, so we wouldn't say to hear music though, we would say to listen. Okay, Musik hören, to listen to music. Okay, that's you. You know what? I'm really proud of you guys. So far, you seem to get it. Ja, sehr gut. Dankeschön. Yeah. Dann hört Musik. Okay? The verb is in the second position, which is hört. First position, you have your word of sequence, dann. Okay? Gut. Und Nummer 5. Ja. Julia besucht am Abend Freunde. Ja, was ist Freunde besuchen? Please raise your hand. Yeah. Yeah, to visit friends. Okay, gut. Am Abend besucht Julia Freunde. Sehr gut. Am Abend, your time phrase, and your verb again, which is besuchen, is in the second position, okay? Make sure you capitalize am whenever you start a sentence, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Nummer 6. Any takers for number 6? Actually, somebody else is okay. Thank you. Yeah, Itzhak? Okay, ich lese gern am Abend. Gern is a word that okay, first of all, what's lesen? Lesen? Ein Buch lesen? Ein Buch lesen? Yeah, read, okay. And gern, that's an adverb. Gladly. So I read gladly in the evening. Okay, gut. Am Abend lese ich gern. Dankeschön, Itzhak. Sehr gut. Okay, am Abend, that's your time phrase. and your verb once again is in the second position, followed by the rest. Okay? Gut, Nummer 7. Ich gehe danach schlafen. Emilia? You got this. Okay. Ausgezeichnet. Except switch your A and your L. Schlafen. Ja, now good deal. Genau. Okay, danach gehe ich schlafen. Afterwards, I go to bed. Okay? Danach, that's your adverb. Okay, it's your first element in the sentence, and your verb, which is gehen, is once again in the second position. Okay? 8. Nummer 8. Okay, Garrett, wake up please. Okay, Nummer 8. Josh, Nummer 8 bitte. Okay, Alex und Klaus spielen am Nachmittag Fußball. What's your subject in this sentence? Who's doing the soccer playing? Yeah, Alex and Klaus, they're your subject, okay? Oh, there's that Beatles song again. You guys know this, Yellow Submarine? I'm playing that for Spanish class. Okay, am Nachmittag spielen Alex und Klaus Fußball. Okay, what could I, if I don't want to sound redundant, which subject pronoun could I replace Alex and Klaus with? Sie, okay? Am Nachmittag spielen sie Fußball. Okay, either case, your verb and your subject are tied together, okay? And your verb, once again, is in what position? Second position, okay? Good. And number 9, mein Bruder steht 6 Uhr auf. From the verb aufstehen, yeah, Jakob. What do you notice in this sentence? Something that we haven't talked about before, really? Aufstehen. Okay, aufstehen is what is called a verb with a separable prefix, and we're going to talk about that on block day, okay? Oh, Jakob, I think you skipped number 9. Oh, you want to, which one you want? Do you want to do number 10?
Might as well just do number 9. Because I'm supposed to forgot.
Do what you're told.
Alles klar? Let me see that. Okay, 6 steht mein Bruder auf. Okay, Uhr. Actually, Uhr follows 6, Jakob.
What?
Uhr follows 6. 6 Uhr, at 6 o'clock.
Oh.
Okay? Okay? 6 Uhr at 6 o'clock, that's your time phrase, followed by your verb, which is in second position. Okay? And the rest. 6 Uhr steht mein Bruder auf. My brother gets up at 6 in the morning. Okay, and then the last one, number 10. Number 10, then we're ready to move on to something else. Okay, who would like to do number 10? Grant, number 10, please.
Want me to come up and ride it?
Yes, please. Okay, er frühstückt um 6:30. Okay, what's frühstücken? You eat breakfast, okay? Remember, you need to know your vocabulary words by Friday, okay? Don't forget about the quiz.
Are you gonna have that on the quiz?
Hmm?
Are we gonna have to rewrite the sentences on the quiz?
No, that's not going to be on the quiz.
Okay. So
That's on the test.
just the vocabulary thing?
Just the vocabulary and time.
Okay.
Okay, um 6:30 frühstückt er. Okay, so at 6:30 he eats breakfast. Okay, Dankeschön, Grant. Do you have any questions about this unique sentence structure? Nine. Okay, be sure to always refer to this handout. Okay, review this handout if you need to. Okay, and here's, before we move on to the next activity, which is a speaking activity, I'd like you guys to, let's see here, take out your homework packets, or never mind, you don't have to take them out. Okay, so for your homework, I'd like you to go back to number one, can you see this just fine? And I'd like you to write 4 different sentences using am Morgen, am Vormittag, am Nachmittag, am Abend. So 1 sentence for each time of day about some of your activities. Okay, and be sure to start with the time phrase, so to reinforce what you learned today. Alles klar? So 1 sentence per time of day. 1 for am Morgen, 1 for am Vormittag, 1 am Nachmittag, and 1 am Abend. Okay, any questions about the homework? Okay, and yes, be sure to start with the time phrase. Okay? Good. Okay, in the time that we have left, I have a speaking activity and information gap activity for you. It's one of my favorite activities, and it's to practice time telling, except now you and a partner get to ask each other what time it is in certain cities around the world. And of course, this also presents a nice opportunity to review some stuff you learned in a previous chapter, like your country names and names for your continents. Okay, so Singapore. Singapore. Where is Singapore? Wo liegt Singapur? Okay, liegen. Okay, liegen means to be located or to lie. So, wo liegt Singapur? Where does Singapore lie?
In Singapore.
Singapore liegt in Singapore. Okay. Think of your continents there. Raise your hand, please. Ja. Wie bitte? Asien. Singapur liegt in Asien, richtig? Okay, then what else do you have? You have New York, Sydney. Wo liegt Sydney? Ja, auf Deutsch bitte. Yeah, we learned the continent names. Okay. Yeah, okay. Australien. Okay, Sydney liegt in Australien. Gut. Und Paris. Wo liegt Paris? Ja.
In there, France?
In Frankreich or in welchem Kontinent? Ja, in Europa, genau. Kuala Lumpur. A lot of people don't seem to know where Kuala Lumpur is located. Yeah.
Kuala Lumpur liegt in Malaysia or Asien?
Ja, genau, Malaysia. Und? Ja, genau, in Asien. Gut, sehr gut. Und Athen. Okay, let me give you a hint. Athen liegt in Griechenland. Athens, genau. Und wo liegt Griechenland?
Greece.
Europa, genau, Europa. Okay, and then we have Berlin, London, you know, all those places. Toronto liegt in Canada. Yeah. Oh, in which continent? America, genau. Then we have Peking. Wo liegt Peking? Wo liegt Peking?
Liegt in Asien.
In Asien, okay? Und Which country?
China?
China, ja genau, China. Gut. And then there's Washington and Cairo. Wo liegt Cairo? And I don't think you learned the German word for that country. Cairo, ja?
Egypt?
Ja, in Ägypten, genau. Und wo liegt Ägypten? In welchem Kontinent? Africa, genau, Africa. Okay, so, we still have a few minutes left. Once again, one of you is going to be A and the other one is B. And just complete the blank spaces by asking each other, wie spät ist es? And the name of your city, okay?
I like kick right down the street. This is muscle spasms.
Oh god, wie sprach dies es in Berlin?
This is how did I say
Okay guys, 1, 2. One more thing I forgot to tell you. Be sure to use conversational time. Okay, so when you see a time listed in military time, convert that. So let's say 16:45 Uhr. What time would that represent in conversational German? 16 Uhr, yeah.
It'd be 4:45.
Yeah, 4:45. 4:45. Okay? All right, go.
Wie spät ist in Toronto?
Es ist 4
Wie spät ist in Lincoln?
Es ist 14
Have it.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Definitely before Friday.
I actually said that you have to do
S is sehen for
You said 4. 2.
Wie spät ist es? Wie spät ist es in
Singapore. I mean,
Es ist 20
Okay, those of you who have finished, why don't you switch your papers? So if you were A, you can now be partner B, okay?
Switch. Forgot to even write it down.
I'm sorry, Levi. Oh, I have been. I had to look at it.
This is mine. Read it all to me.
Okay, 1, 2. Okay, so before I let you go, are there any questions about what you're supposed to do for Thursday? About the homework? Please remember 4 sentences, okay, and make sure you begin with the time of day. And tomorrow we're going to, actually on block day, we're going to start talking about verbs with separable prefixes, okay?